Hi everybody!
The Hori Fighting Commander OCTA seems like a gimmicky controller at first, since it's targeted at a very niche demographic. I'll be honest, I thought it was just going to be a gimmick as well when I first saw it, but I was interested in trying it out, since for fighting games I am primarily a pad player, though I do have a Hori Fight Stick Alpha, so I'm not entirely a stranger to arcade sticks. There are some games where I vastly prefer playing on pad, and some I much prefer on stick. Killer Instinct is one of those games where I prefer using my stick to my standard controllers. For 3D games like Tekken, Soul Calibur, and Dead or Alive, I much prefer pad. For the King of Fighters, I can go either way. Though I noticed with the Hori Fighting Commander OCTA, I could pull off moves in Dead or Alive 5 and KOF 15 that I struggle to do on a DualShock 4 or DualSense very consistently. But let's get into the review properly. So this is probably the most important aspect of a controller. How does it feel in the hands, and are the ergonomics of it good? I would say for the most part, yes, this controller is excellent in that sense. I have smaller hands, but longer fingers, so most controllers can feel a little bit awkward at times. However, with this controller, just holding it feels good. I do have some minor complaints about the buttons though. They're a little bit oversized, and since it's a 6-button layout instead of your traditional 4, I do find myself hitting the wrong button from time to time, as I haven't trained myself muscle memory wise yet. I imagine that'll be something a lot of gamers will have issue with as well, but your mileage may vary. So if I was to redesign this controller a bit, I would keep the micro switches, one of the biggest selling points of this device, but I would maybe see about reducing the physical size of all of the buttons to be a little bit more in line with a more standard controller. If that was done, I feel like the ergonomics would be perfect. Now, I understand the buttons are oversized to make it so players who play with the pad in their lap and hold their hands over the buttons can more easily play that way. But honestly, I don't know many who do play that way, and most are just going to hold this like a traditional controller anyways, so a slight redesign might be for the best. And that's the thing, the Fighting Commander OCTA is still a relatively young product, so Hori will iterate on this design in future, especially if it sells decently, which it seems like it has. If they were to redesign it, slightly smaller buttons and adding a second octagonal gated analog stick would be how I'd change it. This would make it a more versatile product while still retaining its niche audience, turning a very good controller into a perfect one. I'd also look to add in a rumble function, just because that would give the controller some much needed heft. A lot of people complain about it being super lightweight, and I can see why they would complain about that. For me, it's not much of an issue, but I'd like to see rumble added, as it would improve the experience when the controller is used for 2D platformers, which it excels at. So, some of you are probably asking who this product is for. I would say it's for fighting game players who are degenerates like me and use the analog sticks instead of the D-pad.
Stick users for a fighting game? No, that's disgusting. D-pad's the best way to go. At least with a D-pad, you know you're not going, if you're trying to go to the left, and then, oops, you're suddenly a little bit lower, then you do a down left. No, fuck the stick.
But if you like using the D-pad, Hori has you covered as you're given an excellent one that's super comfortable to use, and you can customize the dead zones and tension in the Hori app, which is nice, though the app's interface isn't the best. So if you do intend to fiddle around with that, do keep in mind it's a little bit on the clunky side. But I would say this product is for people who enjoy fighting games, yeah, no shit, but also people who play a lot of 2D platformers. This is the controller I've been using for Biomorph. My initial impressions video of that should be up now, so if you're interested in that, why not click the card popping up on screen now.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, I'm still pissed I did not get a review copy myself, because I am a fan of Metroidvanias, and it will never change. It does look like a great game, I am planning to buy it, but we'll see.
But this controller has been amazing for biomorph, as I can do the precise platforming with the analog stick, or I can use the D-pad. Both feel perfect. So, should you buy this controller? I'd say buy it if you play a lot of fighting games or other arcade titles, as it's super comfortable in the hands and it makes some inputs easier. I'm working on a video about if your controller of choice matters, so comment your controller of choice if you think they matter in fighting games. For most people, I'd say pass this controller by and save your money since it's about the same cost as a standard controller. Thanks go out to my current channel members, R. Campbell and Danny Boy. If you'd like early access to videos and exclusive content, then hit the join button or the link in the description. Also, if you have a Hori Fighting Commander OCTA, let me know your thoughts on the device. Want more of my content? Why not check out my video on why my excitement for Tekken 8 has returned, thanks to Lydia Sobieska showing up in the game this summer. Until next time, keep blazing that trail.